Hello, my name is Kessler Bastos. I manage the training center at NB Machinas, and we are here for another video from the Quick Operational Guide series. And today with the JF PRISMA 4000 machine, and we are going to show you how to set up the twine. For this we will count with the help of our instructor, Rogerio de Lima. As you can see, this machine works with 4 balls of twine, joined 2 by 2, and now let's see how they should be joined. The first set, formed by the 2 balls on the left, will supply the needle on the left, and the second set, formed by the 2 balls on the right, will supply the needle on the right. Let's start with the first set. So, we take the inner end of the second ball and tie it with the outer end of the first ball. See what the knot should look like. Note that the knot has to be as slim as possible, so it does not get caught in the needle during the transition from one ball to the other. We will now show how to join the third and fourth balls, that is, the second set. For this, let's take the outer end of the third ball and connect it with the inner end of the fourth ball, as we did with the first set. Let's now tie the knot so that it is as slim as possible, so that it doesn't get caught on the needle. Before we start passing the twines, we must completely lower the needles. To do this, you must unlock the knotter by turning the star wheel. Next, turn the machine's flywheel manually, or use a lever attached to the transmission shaft in order to move the needles to their lowest position. They will be fully down when the needle arm is in the indicated position. Let's now move on to the twine paths for each of the sets. Take the end of the twine from inside of the third ball and start passing it through the guides on the inside of the cover, remembering that the path being shown is the path that should always be followed. The twine is now being placed towards the outside of the machine and will pass through the tensioning device. It is already on the outside of the ball compartment and will continue passing through the outer guides until it passes through the last guide that will take the twine to the bottom of the machine where the needles are. Now, let's make the final connection of this first twine, obligatorily with the needle on the right. After passing through the needle, we must tie the twine to the chassis of the machine. Now let's go to the path of the second and last twine. Take the end of the twine from inside of the first ball and pass through the indicated points, remembering that the path we are showing is the correct one and should always be the same. In this case, we will be tying the twine to the left needle, that is left set, left needle. Note that both twines must be tied to the chassis, always through the needles. Finally, we close the inner lid. Continuing with the process of placing the twine, we now have to unlock the frame on the dial, turning the star gear. The next step now is moving the needles. There are two ways to do this process: manually, using the machine's flywheel, or a second way, using a lever key coupled to the machine's transmission shaft, turning it manually and always in the counterclockwise direction. Notice that the needle went up, making the first knot. Next, we have to untie the twine from the machine's chassis to eliminate the first knot. To do this, we must pass the end that we untied from the machine's chassis through the inside of the knotter and pull it as shown to eliminate this first knot. Then, we must now repeat the process with the second twine, with the machine now ready to work. At the end of the season, it is very important to completely remove the twines, including the storage compartment for the balls, as well as cleaning the pressing chamber, eliminating any residue from hay bales. Now, one more detail is important, which is the situation of the customer wanting to use nylon twine instead of sisal twine. In this case, there is a specific adjustment on the machine, since the sisal and nylon twines have different diameters. The sisal twine has around 4 millimeters in diameter, and nylon twine has around 2 millimeters in diameter. So, since nylon twine is thinner than sisal twine, we need to make some specific adjustments on the machine. The first, on the twine tensioner. It is recommended to increase the pressure by tightening both nuts, initially by 1 turn on each. With this, we will increase the pressure of the tensioner for this wire that has a smaller diameter. And the second adjustment is in the pressure of the twine disc holder and in the bill hook. To do this process, loosen the top nut and tighten the screw by 1 turn, which should be enough to increase the pressure. Finish by retightening the nut. And on the bottom nut, it is recommended to do the same, that is, tighten it by 1 turn to increase pressure. Do this on both knotters. We point out that for the use of this equipment, safety actions must be observed and carefully followed, aiming to protect its users and operators. Therefore, it is extremely important that before putting the equipment into operation, all safety measures and instructions mentioned in the machine's instruction manual are strictly respected. We hope you like it and see you in the next video.